Just looking at that market, it does seem pressure is coming back to bear, though this, of course, is a market that we've seen run very hard recently on the back of those improving fundamentals, particularly when you look at the interest rate environment.
Yeah, I think this was expected. As you're aware, the Kenyan stock market has done so well so far. We are talking about the NSE 20 share index up around 30%. And this was expected, as I mentioned in October, that there will be some downward pressure, mainly due to profit taking. And also, as we gear into the next general election, we've seen some a bit investors' consciousness and a bit withholding investment because of the way the political environment might be. So I think this is expected. It's a bit of profit taking and also some risk, uncertainty coming in as we edge into the general elections.
Yeah, so I suppose when other people are taking profit, other people see it as an opportunity to buy. Like Warren Buffett says, whenever there's a huge sell-off in the market, he's out there actively looking for those pockets of opportunity. Where do you see them?
I think opportunities will be found in the stocks which have lagged the index, stocks which have not risen as the other market has been rising up. And also, we are seeing there are still some stocks which are undervalued. You're talking about stocks like some insurance firm, like CFC Insurance, Kenya Reinsurance, and I still see some values in banks like Kenya Commercial Bank. Yes, it's true. As the market starts taking profit, there are also some value stocks.
So when you look at that market, I mean, you're talking about some of the banks and insurers. Of course, this is a market that is still expecting that interest rates will likely go down even further from where we are sitting here. How much more do you think should be priced into the equities front?
Yes, interest rates are expecting to come further. Good figures from inflation is giving central bank room to cut further the CBR rates. And I think that will translate to some positive gains on the equity market. But again, as I said, having an equity market gone up, up 35%, there is some consciousness to just hold a bit and see what happens before you get in.
Absolutely. Let's talk about individual stocks now. We've got results coming from Ever Ready East Africa today. And when I went through those results, I saw, one, the impact of the stronger shilling, and then secondly, the cost cuts that they also instituted. So beyond that, when you look at the top line, revenue growth didn't go anywhere. Is this a stock that you would look at buying?
Definitely no, this is not a stock to be keen in. It's a penny stock. It doesn't trade in heavy volumes. And I think if you compare, yes, you are true to say turnover is flat. So the main advantage they got is from the cost reduction. And if you've seen in one of their commentary, they said because the shilling have been a bit stable this year comparing to last year. So they just benefited from the cost reduction. Otherwise, in the top line, you've seen the business is flat. And mostly it's because of the threat from counterfeit batteries and other personal effects. So for me, nothing so much positive on it.
So you wouldn't touch Ever Ready East Africa. Let's look at Kenya Airways. Now, of course, this is a stock that has been rocked by action in the courts, where now it's been ordered to retake those employees, 447 of them that it previously fired under a restructuring plan. Given the uncertain situation that we have here, what does Kenya Airways represent? Is it a buy, or is it one? Should we perhaps look at it as a speculative buy, hoping that eventually sense will prevail and the company will be allowed to do what it does, which is manage the business efficiently?
It's very unfortunate. It's bad news for Kenya Airways, but I think, as you mentioned, it's really undervalued. So I would put it in a classification of a speculative buy.
Do you think there's any chance that the courts will reverse this action that's been taken, of course, right at the beginning? So there's likely to be an appeal. Do you reckon the investors who are challenging this in court have got any chance?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a chance. Have you seen the private sector also is raising up in arms? So I think they are going to appeal. And basically, they are having some support from the private sector. They could be successful.
Indeed, they might be successful. Let's talk about Kenya Cooperative Bank. Now, they got a loan of $60 million from the International Finance Corporation. So, of course, we know that this is not the most expensive form of capital in the world, so it should be good for the business in terms of capitalizing it. Does that change anything in your books?
Yeah, definitely it's a boost. I think for me, Cooperative Bank has been a buyer. I think there's still value in it. If you compare it with other banks, it has not really risen up as the market has been rising up. So this capital injection is a plus for them. So it still increases the buy position.